Okay, so today we're going deep on a story that I don't know about you, but like it's been stuck in my head for weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Rae Lil Black and her conversion to Islam.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Just the whole thing, where she came from, the adult film industry,
Right.
and now this whole new like way of life.
Totally.
So we've got all these articles, interviews, the whole nine yards, and I really want to like dig in and see what we can find.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those stories that just, gets you thinking.
Right.
Like on the surface, it seems like a complete 180, but then like you start peeling back the layers and you see these universal themes, right? Like searching for meaning, trying to figure out who you are, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's like why it's hitting home for so many people. So, okay, like let's back up a sec. Some of these articles mention that she started exploring Islam back in 2024 after taking trips to Malaysia and Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting to me is that these weren't just quick vacations.
Yeah.
Like she was there for a while. Do we know anything about what specifically might have like piqued her interest during those trips?
Well, from what I've read, it sounds like those trips exposed her to Islam in a way that she, hadn't experienced before.
Yeah.
She was interacting with local communities, visiting mosques. She even saw like daily life during Ramadan in Pakistan.
Wow.
So it's possible that, the feeling of community she felt, the spirituality she saw, that it just kind of resonated with her on a deeper level.
It's interesting because like that comes up a lot, right? When you talk about people converting to like
Yeah.
any religion, that sense of belonging, of connection.
Yeah, for sure.
So then we jump to this year and she comes out publicly, confirms her conversion, and it's during Ramadan.
Right.
Can you talk a bit about like the significance of that timing, especially for someone who's, new to the faith?
Yeah, Ramadan is a big deal. It's like a month of intense spiritual reflection, devotion. Muslims are really focused on their relationship with God. They're practicing self-discipline, doing a lot of charity work. Mm-hmm.
So for someone new to Islam, choosing to publicly embrace the faith during this holy month, it suggests a pretty strong commitment, I think,
Yeah,
and a real desire to fully immerse herself in the practices.
it makes sense. And it's not just words, right? Like she's making some pretty major lifestyle changes.
Oh, yeah.
We're seeing reports of her participating in all the Ramadan stuff, fasting, praying, wearing hijabs, going to mosques regularly. These are like the cornerstones of Islam. Yeah.
Absolutely. Those are like the five pillars of Islam. They're the core beliefs, the practices. They guide daily life for Muslims, give them a framework for spiritual growth.
Wow.
So for Rae Lil Black, incorporating all of that into her life, it really demonstrates a genuine attempts to, align her life with what she now believes.
Yeah. It's almost like she's building a new life, like from scratch.
Yeah.
And speaking of major changes, she's also stepped away from the adult film industry completely, which is, I mean, that's huge. What message do you think that sends?
I think it just really underlines her commitment to her new faith.
Right. It's a tangible action. It really speaks volumes about the power of religious conversion to transform someone. And it's such a contrast to her past, which, probably explains why people are reacting in so many different ways.
Yeah, the public reaction has been, well, it's been a mixed bag for sure. Some are like so supportive, praising her courage, her commitment. Then others are like questioning everything. Is she really sincere? Is this all just, for attention? It's hard to like not get sucked into that whole debate. But I have to remind myself, we can't really know what's going on in someone else's heart.
Yeah.
How do you think about navigating that, especially with like public figures?
It's tough. It's complex. There's no easy answer. I think the biggest thing is to remember that faith is personal. It's a deeply individual journey. And yeah, it's normal to be curious, even skeptical sometimes. But judging someone's sincerity, based on what we see from the outside, it can be unfair. And we miss the point. The focus should be on understanding their experience and respecting their right to, choose their own path.
One thing that stood out to me, she mentioned how her family relationships have actually gotten stronger since converting.
Oh, interesting.
And I thought, like, wow, that's pretty significant given all the other changes happening in her life.
Yeah, it's actually very consistent with Islamic values. Family is super important in Islam, and maintaining strong family bonds is really emphasized.
Right.
So it's possible that her conversion has given them all some common ground, a shared sense of purpose, and that can lead to a lot more understanding, closeness.
So stepping back for a second, I mean, what do you think we can learn from Rae Lil Black's story? Is it just like a celebrity conversion story, or is there something more universal here?
I think there's definitely a bigger takeaway. It speaks to that human need we all have for purpose, for belonging.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter where you come from, what you've done. Most of us are looking for something that gives our lives meaning.
Yeah.
Rae Lil Black's story, as unique as it is, I think it reflects that universal search. It reminds us that change is always possible and transformation can come from the most unexpected places.
It's true.
Yeah.
Her journey really makes you think about what it means to, like, really embrace change, to find your own path, even if it goes against, what society expects. It's been a fascinating deep dive into a story that is, like, complex, thought-provoking, and honestly, I have more questions than answers now.
It's just good, I think.
Yeah.
Means it resonated,
Yeah.
right? It's got us thinking about our own beliefs, our values. I think that's the mark of a truly compelling story.
I couldn't agree more. So, to our listener, what do you make of Rae Lil Black's story? Does it, like, resonate with your own experiences, with how you see personal beliefs and public image playing out in the world? It's a question worth thinking about as we all navigate our own, unique journeys. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks for listening.